recite with me as I recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Right, face, forward, march.
Let us prepare to pray. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far along the way, Thou who hast by Thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. We thank You for bringing us together to witness the swearing in of Chief William Penn, Jr. as Chief of Police of the Winston-Salem Police Department. We ask for Your continued blessings upon our city, the community at large, our entire police department, all first responders, and especially Chief Penn. We invoke Your presence because we can do nothing and he can do nothing in and of himself. Grant unto Chief Penn Your wisdom and order his steps. We pray for safety and peace. And finally, we pray for Your grace, Your power, Your presence, and prosperity in the midst of troubling times. In Your name we pray, and all of God's children said together, Amen.
Good evening or afternoon, everyone. We are here for the swearing in of Mr. William Penn, Jr. Let's give him a hand. At this time, we'll have an official welcome by our Mayor Alan Joines, followed by comments from Mayor Pro Tem Denise Adams, Councilmember James Taylor, City Manager Lee Garrity, DA Jim O'Neill, and Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough in that order. Mayor.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alan Joines. It's my honor to serve as your mayor. And it's a special day for William Penn, Jr. But I think, if I may be so bold, Chief, it's an even more special day for the city of Winston-Salem and the entire community of Winston-Salem as we celebrate your appointment and celebrate the future of the Winston-Salem Police Department under your leadership. We do want to recognize, we have other council members that you'll hear from, but I want to recognize Councilmember Barbara Burke, Councilmember John Larson, Councilmember Jeff McIntosh, Councilmember Annette Scipio, right there, Councilmember Robert Clark, and I see Councilmember Bundy back here. So we've got enough for a meeting here if we need to have something. And did I miss someone? Oh, Taylor's going to be up speaking in just a moment there, so he's on the program. So we're here today for the official swearing in of our new police chief. It's been a process that's been ongoing for a good while. A lot of folks have been involved in a very detailed and professional process. Literally hundreds of candidates applied to our city. They were vetted down, getting down to the last 4, and as you know, we had public hearing, public meeting, and Chief Penn and others answered questions from the public and did so very well. And after that, decision was made that, of course, William Penn Jr. was the absolute best candidate for this position. It's one that we know is important to us, and the chief has said that one of his top priorities will be working on reducing gun violence in our community. I concur in that. Our city council concurs in that, and I think you probably concur in that as well. Let me just say, Chief, that for me personally, I pledge you my support, pledge that I'll do everything I can to help make you successful. You don't need a whole lot of help. I know you're going to be very successful, but I'm with you all the way. Congratulations to you and the members of your family and friends that are here today. Thank you all for coming.
Good afternoon. I'm Dee Dee Adams, Mayor Pro Tem and Council Member of the North Ward. Just like Chief Penn, born and raised in Winston-Salem. I was interviewed today by one of the television stations and maybe some of the other council members too, as to how do we think this relationship, this new relationship is going to go, and how many other police chiefs prior to Chief Penn that I've been a part of. I've been on the council 14 years. This is my 4th police chief. They were concerned that we seem to be turning over police chief, and I told them that that's the nature of the job in the world we live in today. Asked me what was my greatest concern for the new Chief Penn. I told him that I think it's the fact that some people think that, again, you've heard us say, the situation we're in this city and all over the country, that it's going to go away in 10 days, 10 months, 10 years. We are just planting the seeds, and citizens like Police Chief Penn, who grew up in this city, that went from rolling hills to where he is now. That he's not only walked it, talked it, he's walked it. He knows how important it is to try to create a quality of life in our community. I look forward to working with him, pledging him my support. But Chief Penn and all of the citizens, particularly the employees and staff of the city, know that I am a very accountable, held type person. He knows that he can come to me at any time. When he was my district chief on the north side at District 1, captain, he knew that he could call me anytime. He has my personal cell number. I have his as well. And we can knock ideas around or talk about what needs to be done and what's happening in our city. I asked the citizens of Winston-Salem, I'm not going to ask you to wait and see. I'm going to ask you to get with it with the rest of us, help our new chief, our public safety, and do and be successful. That's what I need you to do. It's not all on him. It's not all on us. It's not all on you, but it's on all of us. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is James Taylor, and I bring greetings to you on behalf of the Public Safety Committee for the City of Winston-Salem. I'm also joined here by Public Safety Committee members, Mr. Mundy, Councilmember Burke, Councilmember Larson, and myself, and together we try to do the best job that we can do to make sure that this police department has everything they need to be successful. I will say this, it's a great day to be in the city of Winston-Salem. It is always a good thing when folks who aren't from the city of Winston-Salem move to this city and they decide to significantly contribute to our culture and to our community. That holds value. But I will say, as a native son of this city, it also holds value when someone who is born and reared in this community, someone who has shared similar experiences, someone who's walked in our shoes, someone who's attended the public school system, when they take leadership, people stand and people notice. Chief Penn, we thank you for your commitment and for your service to this community. You are and will be leading the greatest police department in the state of North Carolina and the United States of America. Today, we thank you, we honor you. I also pledge my support to you and your team. And I will do this. If you don't find it to be disrespectful, I will say this. We have some really, really good candidates who applied for this particular position. I will say commendations to Chief Cardwell, who held the ship steady while we selected our new leader. Commendations to Assistant Chief Weaver and to also Assistant Chief Manning Gomez, who are both viable opponents for this particular position. They have also pledged their support for this department and for our new chief. Chief, go forth, prosper, long live Chief Penn.
Good afternoon. I'm Lee Garrity, the Winston-Salem City Manager. This is the fourth chief selection process that I've kind of managed directly. I did a couple before when I was an assistant manager, but the fourth that I've directly managed, and is probably the most unique time that I can remember in my career. with vacancies, with gun violence, with just lots of issues. I mean, right now, my colleague, the manager in Raleigh, is dealing with a very tragic death of a citizen from a tasing. It is a difficult time for law enforcement, and I think we're very fortunate that we had such good internal candidates, such strong candidates. And as we said, Chief Penn rose to the top. I was thinking a little bit about the history, and I think the first time I was exposed to Chief Penn, I think you were in Vice and Narcotics. Were you a sergeant by then, or a corporal? So corporal. And back then, I'm like, we were both a little younger, but back then, it was like, this guy is going. He has got it. He's going to up and comer. Back then, I said he's going to really rise. And then a little bit later, he went to recruitment at a time when we had some challenges. Welcome back to that. But and he really just embraced it. It was amazing the results he had. And so I've always known that he was just a rock star. And so we are very fortunate, and I'm very fortunate that we were able to select him. And I'm looking forward, at least for the next 4 months till I retire, to work with him. So but actually, I'm staying here, and I'm glad that he is going to lead this community and keep us safe. So Chief, thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I'm Jim O'Neill. I'm the district attorney here in Forsyth County. In my office, we always start our day by beginning and turn to the judge and say, "Good afternoon, Your Honor. We're honored that you're here with us." Chief Will and I actually grew up cutting our teeth down in what we call district court together. We spent time down there arguing cases, and he'd get up on the witness stand, and we talk about it afterwards and figure out what we could do better next time if it went south on us. So this, to me, is such an honor when one of my friends and one of my partners for so long has risen the way you've risen. I'm just unbelievably happy for you and your family today, Will. My favorite book of the Bible's Book of James. Go figure, right? And one of my favorite quotes there is, "Faith without work is dead." My friend Bishop Fulton's back there, and he's nodding with me. Because if God doesn't test you, how do you know he's the risen Savior? And right now, in Winston-Salem, we're being tested. We are being tested every day. Too many shootings, too many murders. But I have faith today with the installation of Chief Penn. I have faith. I believe in you. And our faith as a community is going to pay off. And the reason it's going to pay off is we are blessed in this community with city council members that understand, and our mayor that understands, that in order for us to fill the vacancies on the police department, we have to have competitive salaries. We have to have salaries that attract people to come here. Right now in Winston-Salem, we're down 144 officers, 43 non-sworn officers. And we look around and we say, in the month of January, we had 9 shootings, 9 murders. Not just shootings, but murders. And if we don't have officers out on the street helping to protect us and our families, we can expect more. These folks in blue that are packed the hallways here to support Chief Penn today, they get up every morning and they put a bulletproof vest on, and they go out and they protect us, and they put themselves in harm's way in between the people that would do us harm and our loved ones. Incredibly brave choice to become a police officer today. And as a community, it can't all just fall on Chief Penn. can't. Not only do we need competitive salaries for the sworn and the non-sworn, but when we see something happen out in the community, we see a crime being committed, we have to be willing to come forward and tell the police officers what you saw. Tell them what you saw. We have the United States Attorney for the Middle District of North Carolina over here, Sandra Hairston. Sandra, if you would stand up just for a moment, please. This is Sandra Hairston. And she is also my partner in prosecution. And we get together once a month to figure out what is it that we can do to make this community safer. Who are the folks that are causing the shootings and the robberies and the violent crime? Who are the ones driving that? And our commitment every day is we got to pull those people out from these communities that they're hurting. We have to. I'm so delighted to be here. I'm honored to be speaking on your behalf today. You are an excellent person. For the people that don't know you, I want to say hello to Weave and Manny. I know you're in here somewhere, and they wanted this job too. Weave and Manny wanted this job too. And the class that they showed by picking up the phone and calling this man as soon as they heard that he got the job, that shows you what kind of people those two are. And finally, Will, this job is going to be about relationships. Your relationships with the city council. You already have the support of Sandra Hairston and myself. The sheriff, I know, supports you, and we will work and do everything we can, not just to make you successful, but to make this the best place to live in North Carolina. I love you, brother. Congratulations. So happy for you.
First of all, I want to say it's an honor to be here. I'm Bobby from the Office of the People. It's truly an honor, and I thank God for this moment in time. You know, I look around, I look at this room, and it reminds me of a saying that there's a thing called time and turn in life. Sometimes it could be your time, but not your turn. And other times in life, it could be your turn, but not your time. But for those that are faithful, time and turn will align for such a time as this. When I think about this man, I've known him from a young man. We both are native sons of Winston-Salem. I remember the first day I walked in the vice unit as an agent with DEA, and I saw this young guy managing the vice unit. I was impressed with him. I talk to him at least 2-3 times a week now. And one thing that I want to say to you, my brother, is that you're truly a gentleman. You're truly a giant. And I want to tell you something, that God purposed you even before people had an opinion of you. And I want you to know that I'm proud of you. I love you. You know you have my support. And I think that together, my new partner in crime prevention, we got this. And I love you, my brother.
Thank you all for those amazing comments, and I echo everything that was just said. So now is the time. And as the DA mentioned, we have some remarkable men and women of the Winston-Salem Police Department. Assistant Chief Cardwell held us down through the transition. And I would like them to come out. Manny Gomez, Assistant Chief Weaver, they've had Penn's back and will continue to have their back in this journey. So thank you all. We appreciate you all. And so while we take this oath, they will have your back here today, and some of the other great men and women of this department. You all can come on out. I want you all to have his back during this time.
Good afternoon. My name is Todd Burke. I have the honor and privilege of serving as the senior resident Superior Court judge here in Forsyth County. I was honored and privileged when asked by Chief Penn if I would participate in his ceremony to swear him in. At this time, I would like to greet our Mayor, Alan Joins, Mayor Pro Tem, Ms. Adams, Public Safety Chair, Mr. Taylor, the remainder City Council members. And I have to go home tonight. Councilwoman of the Northeast Ward, Vivian Barbara Burke. Now, when I thought what I may say, because I've heard so many profound and prolific remarks this evening, I just thought, well, what would my mother say? My mother had an only child, myself. Mr. Penn's an only child. And I think only son, okay. All right. Sorry. I asked him earlier. He did not respond to the question that way. In any event, I'm certain what the former Mayor Pro Tem, City Council person of the Northeast Ward, and Public Safety Chair would say to you is the following. And I think it only be fitting because your offices are in the building which has been named in her honor. She would say to you, keep God in front, and he'll do the rest. And I say to you that you serve the citizens, and that be your goal, to serve the citizens. And your work and efforts not be in your glory, but in God's glory. And when you do that, everything else will follow. I salute your parents, Mr. and Mrs. Penn. How are you doing? They're such wonderful and positive people. Mr. Penn, he formerly worked with us at the courthouse. He perhaps could have been the courthouse greeter, although he was there for security purposes. That's just in his nature. Your mother, anytime she's out when I'm walking through the neighborhood, always glad and a pleasure to see you, ma'am. So I salute you both. I know this is a proud moment for you as parents. It's a proud moment for your sisters. Stand up, please, ladies. And also for your son. I will take time for a matter of what my mother would always say, protocol. I would like to recognize two of my colleagues who serve on the district court bench, the district court judges. They are there 9 to 5 every day. They do the bulk of the work of our judicial system throughout the state of North Carolina, because your district court judges and their calendars are based upon the population, and we are one of the largest cities in the state of North Carolina. So Judge Fred Adams, Judge Valine Franco, I didn't see any other of our colleagues from the judiciary. If so, please, if you would stand at this time. Now, you heard the prosecutor say how he worked in the district court with Chief Penn. Well, I have a friend. He's our sheriff. Every day, it seems like we went to lunch when I was an assistant district attorney and he was a fire marshal. We would go to lunch every day and talk about our goals and the things that we're doing now. And you just never know who you're going to take this path with. But when I look around and I see the persons who hold elected office, I say to all of us that we serve our constituency. We're not elected to serve ourselves. And what I just said to Chief Penn, that let our effort and work reflect not our glory, but God's glory. That is the way that you serve your community. And there's so many of you who are vested in this community. All of you are vested who work and serve. But to be from your home city and serve in a role of leadership, I can think of no greater honor that your citizens, your colleagues, they think this much of you. I would also like to congratulate and thank Mr. Garrity, our city manager. You have, seems as if of your own accord, not just the meetings that a mother will have, but when I look at the staff and the population of persons who work for the city of Winston-Salem, I can't help but think that equity is very important to you. So we're going to miss you, but thank you for your service. I look at the officers, the persons who go out every day. They have a job that when they leave the house that morning, that evening, that night, and when they go out from their shift, let's come home tonight. I thank all of our law enforcement. You're out there doing the job that some of us are not capable of doing, some of us don't want to do. I honor you, respect you, and I thank you so very much for your service. Because of the service that you perform, it allows us to lay our heads down at night in peace. Thank you. Well, I've said enough. This is not my day. This is your day, Chief Penn. And Ms. Harrison, we were in law school together. A U.S. attorney for the Middle District of North Carolina. This is a high job she has. I don't know how many of you realize this, but her job is not one that you just simply apply for. She was vetted by the President, the U.S. Senate. This is an appointment. Ms. Harrison, stand up. Stand up again. She is appointed by the President of the United States of America. So this is a high honor for her to be here. And as I said, we went to law school together. We served as prosecutors for the state of North Carolina. And then at some point, I went in private practice, and I didn't really enjoy going over to her office. At this time, if you would if you place your left hand on the Bible, if you come around this side, please. Thank you. You're just as taller than your father. Come on closer, Mr. and Ms. Penn. We want those cameras over there to see you. So if you place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. Do you, William H. Penn, Jr., solemnly swear that you will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of your office as Chief of Police of the City of Winston-Salem, so help you God? If so, say so.
I do.
Congratulations.
Just so you know, we practiced that. Good job, Mama. I'm gonna take a moment to soak this moment up. You don't have many days like this. in a lifetime, right? And then loved ones in front of me, and them having my back. Okay, it can't get more perfect than that. I want to thank everyone for being here. Everyone here, in some form or fashion, have enriched my life. Greetings to Mayor Joines, Mayor Pro Tem Adams, members of City Council, and all elected officials. I'd also like to acknowledge City Manager Lee Garrity and staff. Take this moment to thank the mayor, council, and city manager staff for believing in my abilities and vision for this city. I'm honored and thrilled to be appointed the 16th Chief of Police for the city of Winston-Salem. As a native son of this city, this is my wildest dream. Who would have thought a little kid from the hole would be chief of police? And for full transparency, if you hear someone referring to Little William, that's me too. I could say that I would have never imagined a situation where I could hold this type of office. But to do that would undermine just how powerful God is. His vision for us will always exceed our expectations and anything we could have ever imagined for ourselves, and for that I'm truly grateful. Quick story. That tall young man you saw there is my son, 18 years old. He's an Eagle Scout. He's wonderful. When he was 4 years old, he was an introvert, extremely quiet and unassuming child. So one day I went to his preschool for career day, and I saw him sitting in the back, unassuming as always. As I'm talking to the children about topics on safety, I asked the question, children, what would you do if you saw a gun sitting on the ground? And all of a sudden, one young man in the back stood up and grabbed his fist and thrust it in the air with enthusiasm and yelled, "Shoot it!" I was stunned, dumbfounded, and stupefied. And when I came to, I looked at the young man who said that and realized it was my own son. And I said, absolutely not. You don't do that. And needless to say, we had a conversation when we got home. But there was a very important lesson in that. You take care of home first. So with that said, I got to thank my mom and daddy first. To my dad, thank you for showing me what a provider was and how a man is supposed to take care of his family. To my sweet, precious mother, the backbone of our family, whenever I was going through something, just hearing your voice let me know everything was going to be okay. I got my older sister, Athena, nicknamed Chicken. She's the quiet leader of the family. Thank you for always looking out for your baby brother. I got my sister, Tony, who's the best agent you could have ever asked for. 90% of the people here were recruited by her. And then my younger sister, Ashika, who came up from Atlanta, wouldn't miss this for the world. She's my strategist, she's my favorite attorney, and she's my sounding board. Thank you for always being there. My nephew's here. He's a wonderful young man. Frank, thank you for being here. Love you. And finally, to my son, you taught me the definition of unconditional love. You made me a better man in ways that you never even recognized. I'm a better man, I'm a better law enforcement officer, and I'm a better leader because you came into my life. As you can see, family is extremely important to me. I am who I am because of them. So now I'm getting ready to do something dangerous. I'm getting ready to start naming people. Now let me throw this disclaimer on here. We all know once we start listing names, somebody gets left out. I'll be waving at somebody and I'll get one of these waves. I apologize ahead of time, but it's hot in here and I know I got to get y'all out of here. So don't charge it to me. Charge it to my head, not my heart. My 5th grade teacher, Miss Brayboy in the back. Thank you. For always telling me that I can accomplish anything if I try hard enough. Thank you for being here. William Harrison. When I was in college, I worked as a security guard at Forsyth Hospital, and I met William Harrison. And William Harrison stayed on me, always pushing me to be the best person I could. And he told me he would always be in my life. And if he don't hear from me, he's gonna call, and then he's gonna call again, and he's gonna call again. And he's gonna make sure I'm on top of my game. Thank you so much. I'm gonna throw some names out at you. They're retired. I haven't seen them, but Doug Nance, Steve Baldwin, Cam Sloan, Tim Taylor, Keith Redmond, Tracy Golden, and Tom Boyles. All of those gentlemen worked at the same hospital. I was impressed with how they kept us safe. They began recruiting me. They spoke up for me when I was hired, and every time I did something good, they all solely said they were responsible for me being here. And I guess when I did things not so bad, they took their hands off. So if they hear this, I just want to know I did not forget you. When I went through rookie school, I remember being taught a courtroom testimony class, and it was a guy there teaching the class, and I remember thinking, man, he's got a big booming voice. And that person turned out to be Jim O'Neill. And Jim, I love you even though you left me hanging over here, man. I know you didn't mean to do that, so I appreciate you. And throughout my 25 years, he's always kept up with my career and checked on me. So thank you, Jim. DeJuan Phillips, Rod Cathcart, Rodney Donaldson, Jerome Paul. That's my inner circle. Thank you, thank you. Rodney came up from Georgia to be here with me today. He has to leave right out and get back to work, and he brought his darling parents who are so much better than him, so we'll take him anyway. And Jerome Paul, who's my ride or die. There is nothing I could ask Jerome to do that he would say no to, and I hope he realizes I feel the same way. Where is he? Okay, that's right. That right there. Thank you. Sheriff Kimbrough. As mentioned, Sheriff Kimbrough and I have been working together for years. You, my man, thank you, thank you. I talk to Sheriff Kimbrough 2 to 3 times a week. What I would tell you is I would put Winston-Salem up against any city, county in the country when you have 2 hometown boys who love their city and love their county. I love you, love you. Up against anybody. Our U.S. Marshal, Katrina Thompson, I want to thank her. I don't think she gets enough credit. She led this agency during the most tumultuous time in law enforcement history, and she did it with flair and class. Wherever you are, Chief Thompson, I appreciate you, and I want to thank you for being a mentor to me. I also want to thank Chief Barry Roundtree. He taught me the benefits of a methodical and steady leadership, so I appreciate him. Assistant Chief Manny Gomez was one of the first persons to call me when he heard I got the job. Chief Gomez told me, I got your back. And those weren't just words. In my short stint as chief, Manny Gomez has been on a warpath. Manny, I appreciate you more than you know. You are a class act. Chief Wilson Weaver, the institutional knowledge of the police department. He has been mentoring me for years, and he taught me that to be a true leader of the police department, you need to know what's going on outside of law enforcement. I will tell you that even before we got here today, he was pulling me to the side, telling me something that's going on in the city. Chief Wilson Weaver, you are my brother and the class act. Thank you. My godparents, Andrew and Joyce Henry, and my god sisters, Andrea and Jasmine, thank you for keeping me covered in prayer. My aunt Adrian, Clementine, Gertrude, my uncle Albert and Jean, I can always count on you to be here supporting me. With that said, I'm also thank the following organizations that I'm a part of and who have supported me. There's only one logical choice who to go first, and that's gonna be Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I mean, what else can I say there? I wanna thank the Boy Scouts for being here, the Commission on Ending Homelessness, Experiments in Self-Reliance, Carver High School, Winston-Salem State University Alumni Association, Habitat for Humanity, and the Winston-Salem Sportsman Club. I want to thank Pastor Scovins and the Honorable Judge Burke for being a part of this special day. Let me also acknowledge the Winston-Salem Forsyth County School System. I love our relationship and look so forward to what we can accomplish together. And I definitely got to acknowledge our local, state, and federal law enforcement agency partners, as well as Ms. Hairston in the U.S. Attorney's Office. I'm not going to get you to stand up again, I know, but and the DA's office. Thank you all so much. With that said, all of these folks I named have spoke positivity in my life. Chief Cardwell kept the ship afloat while we went through that hard-fought process. Thank you, Mike. If there was a theme to my remarks today, it would be careful what you pour into others. To the clergy in the community, I'm not sure if you realize it, we have a lot in common. Everybody knows how we should be doing our jobs. Because of this, I do recognize that we both have extremely difficult jobs because we're always scrutinized. But I believe we can continue to work together to unite our community. To my community, my city, I saw the very best of you, especially in 2020. We were all hurting. But I witnessed firsthand our community said, we're gonna make a conscious decision to love and not destroy. There were cities all across this state and nation that burned and asked us how we did it. Now, it was the work of law enforcement. They did a heck of a job. But our city said, no, we're not gonna do that. So I know we have the resolve, the resources, and talents to fix the issues in our community. The word de-escalation is not a word exclusive to law enforcement. I'm gonna say that again. De-escalation is not exclusive to law enforcement. We have got to tone it down. Any group in this great community of ours can be agents of change, and they can assist in the escalation of violence. We didn't get here overnight, folks, so it won't be solved overnight. It's gonna take work. However, I believe in you because you all have believed in me. I can't tell you how many people have spoken positivity and success over me in the last month in my lifetime. And for that, I've stated previously, I'm grateful. Imagine if we put that much energy into speaking positivity and success over our kids. Sometimes that's all they need to consistently hear. That someone believes in them and that someone has their back, like they got my back. Let's invest in our kids and our community. To the business community, our city needs you right now. I'm asking you all to step up as stakeholders in this community. I know that you recognize that poverty and lack of resources in one area is a precursor to crime in all areas. Many of you are already actively engaged in the community, and for that I thank you. But as your chief of police, I'm asking the business community to seek out more opportunities to do more in our community. I look forward to fostering robust partnerships with our business leaders. The Winston-Salem Police Department will always support efforts to combat the drivers of crime, even those that may not seem obvious, like education and economic disparities. And finally, I'd like to address the folks who've been my family for more than 25 years, the men and women of the Winston-Salem Police Department. I admire and respect you beyond words. The last few years in the law enforcement field have been tough, but these folks stayed and persevered. It's during times like this that folks need to know that you have the community support. So let's give these men and women a round of applause. See, we like when y'all do that, but we like to make it look like we don't like when y'all do that. I want you to know, no matter what, and the work you do, despite what anyone tells you, the work that we do is noble. I am committed to improving our agency in the best way that I know how. I commit myself to you all. You are the keepers of the city, and know that you are appreciated. And I will do everything I can to make sure you all feel valued and appreciated. The work you do, so few are called to do. So we need that community support, loud and proud. I know that many are concerned about the shortages. Here's where you can help. People want to work where they are appreciated. I promise you, I'll do my part. I'm asking that the community do your part. There's not a better recruiting strategy than a community that supports their law enforcement. Hold us accountable, but support us for our public safety. As I leave you today and begin the journey of leading this city's guardians, I leave you with this quote from Harry Truman. It's amazing what we can accomplish when we don't care who gets the credit. Let's take the credit out of working out of our community. Let's make our focused partnerships with whomever is willing to put in the work to make sure that our city heals. Again, I count it as one of the greatest honors of my lifetime to be able to serve the citizens of this city, and I thank you all for trusting me to do so. Together, we can all accomplish greatness. Thank you all.
This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we are rejoicing and we are glad in it. Chief Penn, we are so excited about your leadership, about this opportunity. We feel safe that the public is in your hands for public safety. And we feel like we will be moving in the right direction with innovation, with ideas about 21st century policing, and moving the needle to keep us safe and this community safe. Again, thanks to the assistant chiefs and all the police staff who have been holding it down, including the non-sworn. Say they don't always get, some of the non-sworn, if you all step forward, 911 communications, forensics, community engagement, there's forensic, there's evidence management. And so these are the unrecognized people that do a lot of the work. And so as a team, as a department, collectively, they are keeping this community safe. And so again, Chief Penn, congratulations. We will have a reception right across the hallway. You'll have an opportunity to greet and congratulate our new police chief. So just give them another round of applause to our new chief as we close out. Thank you.